Resistance strain gauge. Main aim of this resistance strain gauge is to calibrate strain gauge of particular trainer kit or material. Okay, calibrate nothing but measurement of the strain gauge. Okay, and we have also we will find the percentage error. Okay, so what exactly strain gauge is and what is resistance strain gauge, right? So we know when any material is subjected to any external load, okay, or any mechanical material, if you are added any external load, automatically the trainer kit or any material, there will be a small changes, right? So that mechanical property, maybe thickness of the material may change, inner resistance may change. Okay, so depending upon the load that we are adding to that kit or train material. Okay, so this change is nothing but a strain. Okay, nothing but simple if we are working from morning to evening, we'll get strain at the evening, right? So like that, if you are adding loads increasingly by 100 grams, 200 grams, 300 grams, material or kit may strain, right? So we have to calculate that strain. Okay, if the material is mechanically strained, the strain is defined as ratio between the mechanical property to the original property. That one only, no. At morning we are very enthusiastic, right? By the end of the evening, we'll get more strain, no. So by the difference between the morning enthusiasm and the evening enthusiasm is equal to the arc strain, right? That's it, right? So since that one only we have to calculate actually. Okay, so how we will calculate means we have to see the resistance through this resistance strain gauge. Before that, as the strain will be calculated in small terms also, means we can change in by adding any external loads, length can be differ in milliseconds, I mean minute length also. So that's why change in the length of the material is very small, so it's difficult to measure normal weights. So that's why normally strain gauge will be calculated in micro strains. Okay, understand? So it will be calculated minute particles, I mean minute terms also. Okay, so for through that minute particles only, readings will be different, okay. So it is difficult to measure length resistance strain gauge to material directly, so as the material gets strained due to load, the resistance of strain gauge proportional to the load. That's what only, no. If load increases, strain increases, as proportionally resistance also increases, right? So that's a directly proportional. So the change in the resistance is used to convert mechanical property into the electrical signal, okay, which can be easily measured, which is used for storage the data. That is called the resistance strain gauge actually. So first is strain gauge. Okay, we have, that's a normal transducer. We have to calculate the strain particulars. And what is the strain gauge? Change in the resistance with respect to the load. Okay. Actually, what exactly strain gauge is a transducer, What's transducer? Which converts one property to another property. Here, I'm telling about mechanical property to electrical property. Okay, fine. So this is basically aim, apparatus, procedure. Okay, understand the theory, nothing difficult. Before going to that, before strain gauge, after that resistance strain gauge. Here we are seeing about resistance strain gauge, no? So that's why I'm clearly explaining about resistance strain gauge. Okay, so this is a KITMA actually, resistance strain measurement trainer. Okay, see, this is a mechanical property. This is a cantilever beam. I already told you know that to measure anything or any to measure any kit or trainer kit, we have to take first one particular. So here I took cantilever beam. So for this cantilever beam, I am calculating the strain. For that strain, for this we have to check the all the first weight of the cantilever beam length. Okay, before that we have to fix the normal values, means original values. Okay, After original values, we'll fix that one, and by adding external loads, we will see the difference between normal original readings and the actual what we are getting readings. So the main difference between is called the strain. Okay. So here this is a mechanical property, right? Here, see here we are I'm adding weights. This is a mechanical property, right? And here I'm getting micro strains digitally, means electrically, So here I'm connected connections with a Wheatstone bridge and two op amps. So that's why strain gauge is a transducer. Here I'm converting mechanical property to electrical property. Here I'm adding mechanically loads, 100 grams, 200 grams, 300 grams. Okay. And I'm getting the readings in terms of electrical. Okay. So that's why strain gauge is called as a transducer. Okay. Now we will see. Basically, how first we have to see, this is a kit. First we will see the specifications of the cantilever beam. See, this is the specifications of the cantilever beam that we are using in our kit. This is a material, beam thickness. These are constant, ma. Okay. After that, we have to fix the calculation. We have to fix the calculations of cantilever beam, right? So for that, one constant formula will be there, ma. See, this is a specimen calculation for cantilever beam. Okay. We have to take one equipment, right, to calculate strain. So that's why I'm taking here as a cantilever beam. For this cantilever beam, I'm calculating strain gauge. Okay. So this is a formula. S is equal to 6PL by B T square E. Here P is the load, 1 kg. Constant. These are all constant. Effective length 22 centimeters. Width 2.8 centimeters. We can calculate by using gauge. Thickness, Young's modulus, microstrain. So by calculating all this, we will get the 377 microstrain. So constant value of cantilever beam is 377. By adding load also, we have to get this one only. Okay. We will see now. See, this is the readings. Here I am adding weights 1, 2, 3, 4, and actual readings is 38, 75, this one, and indicator readings. These readings we have to get from the kit. Okay. See. Now total 10 weights are there. 10, 100, 200, 300. So I got 377. Okay. I am taking one weight. And I got 350 around, 345, 350. I'm taking off another weight. See, 314. Next. $282. Okay. So as weights are decreasing, strain decreases. Normally at the starting, how much we got? At 377. That's a constant strain for cantilever beam. See, 318. I'm again decreasing weights. Again decreasing weights. Again decreasing weights. Again decreasing weights. It's last 90. Okay. So this is the last one. This is 100 grams. So now nothing. Now I have 58. Okay. So these are the readings, actually weights 100 grams, 200 grams, and these we have to calculate by using formulas. Indicator values, these are indicator values. If error is more, we have to change the trainer kit. Okay. Or we have to take off the we have to change the trainer kit by using the to measure the strain gauge. See, this is the actual reading and indicator readings by maximum weight in grams. Okay. Before taking the readings, we have to adjust this one. So by that we will adjust 377. See, I am again adding the loads. Again adding the loads. By using this calculating knob, we can adjust the reading. So this is a cantilever beam. So by adding weights, we can take the readings. Okay. So these are the readings. To get, we have to calculate the error. If error is more, we have to change the trainer gate, because if error should be less, right? So by that, efficiency of the trainer gate will be more. Okay. Done. Calculating the error, we have to plot the graphs between microstrains and indicator readings. So what actually we have calculated the readings and what we got the readings. Okay, and after that, load versus strain. Load nothing but what we added in terms of grams, and strain in terms of microstrains. Okay, these are the graphs we have to plot. Okay, done.